Look, I'm not going to presume to say I have any idea what I'm going to talk about here. This is going to be pretty stream of conscious, just me kind of getting myself out there in the world. My name's Rick Starkweather. I am a student at Illinois State University. I'm 43. Originally got my associate's degree like 15 years ago. Thought then that I would never go back to ever get my degree. But COVID did some weird things, and life pushes you in a direction, and that's how it happens. I am currently studying game design. I have a secondary focus in sound design, which is partly why I'm doing this. Had somebody recommend that I do a podcast because I've kind of got one of those voices for radio. It just tends to lend itself to being heard. I suppose that's true enough. I've got about 6 or 7 different accents, a couple of different what I call tonal qualities, things that will lend themselves well to descriptive narration. Everything from, being that rough and tough guy and trying to do things how they have to be done, to something a little more stern and noble and bearing forth. And then, a little bit here and there, different accents, the Russian accent, bounce in and out of these. It's how things are back in Mother Russia. Things aren't good with what Putin is saying. I don't really consider myself a comedian. I think I'm funny. Hell, my psychiatrist thought I was hysterical. My last job I lost because they said I was too confrontational. I couldn't argue with them. But school has been good. I've enjoyed it. I like most of my classes. I particularly enjoy my sound design courses. True story, my teacher literally came up to me one day and asked, hey, Rick, is this class too easy for you? And I had to stop and think about it. And I thought about it out loud. I'm like, well, how do I say this without sounding like a condescending jerk? My answer to that was, I can't. Yes, this is too easy. Well, he knew I was taking it at a grad level the next semester. He's like, I'm going to make it more difficult for you. I'm going to make it intentionally difficult for you. My response was, bring it on, Beyonce. Let's go. I'm actually looking forward to the challenge and hoping it's not my hubris that is going to bite me in my rear end. Things I do for fun. I am an avid Magic the Gathering player. I love playing Magic the Gathering, specifically Commander. Wasn't a popper for a while, but Commander's really where it's at. Also do LARP, live action roleplay, mostly Werewolf the Apocalypse, some other stuff, but that's primarily it. I love telling stories. I love getting into the deep lore of some of this stuff. I like playing characters that are called Den Parent characters, where they actually teach new characters, hey, this is what the world is like, and y'all need to be prepared. It's usually pretty fun. Aside from that, I do some just random sound design from time to time. I'm currently working on some final projects for school. One of them is a interactive novel a visual novel that I'm doing most of the artwork for. I've done the music for, and I'm basically the project lead for, and that's going swimmingly. We're almost to the point of an alpha as of the time of this recording, so that's a thing. What I will probably be doing for some of these recordings from this point forward is just going over some of the funny things that I have seen in my history of being on planet Earth. Some of the stories from games that I have attended. Just things that interest me. This isn't going to be for everybody. But you're going to get me. You're going to get me unfiltered. And that's all I can promise for you. Hopefully, you'll stick around. You'll come back. You'll listen some more. And we'll get to talking about stuff that's fun. And I'll maybe answer some questions from people later in the future. But we're coming up on 4:30. And I think that's a good enough intro. Again, my name is Richard Starkweather. This is my podcast. I'll have a name for it at some point. Who knows? Right now I'm going by FallenLime, so I guess this will be the FallenLime podcast. Until next time, peace out and have a good life.